scary. Okay, first of all, guys, I do apologize if I'm gonna sound completely horrible during this video. I am very sick. Actually called off work sick, and now I'm making this video. And in honor of Resident Evil 7 Biohazard coming out, I thought we should do a, you know, anticipated horror games of 2017 coming out. So the first one, obviously, I have to do a mention of is Outlast 2. So if you played the first Outlast, it is quite creepy, because you can't do anything. It's going to follow the same game. When I mean you can't do anything, you can, but it's not action. So it's a lot of running and hiding. So the Outlast 2 is going to follow the same game mechanics as the first one. Outlast 2 is by the development team Red Barrel. So this time around, you're going to be the character Blake Langerman. You are going to be Blake Langerman. I'm having trouble talking. He is a cameraman and investigative journalist. So him and his wife are going to try to uncover the murder of a pregnant woman. And so just like the first one, you are going to be outfitted with a camera. So this time you're going to actually have better zoom, night vision as well, and audio detection capabilities on your camera. And if you have played the demo before, the graphics are amazing. It's definitely got that same Outlast kind of vibe where it's kind of that adrenaline rush that something is going to happen, but all you can do is run and hide. So it's definitely it's a lot more tense than other games, because with other horror games as well, you are able to fight back. A lot of them are well, a lot of action kind of horror based games, you are able to fight back. With these type of survival horror games, you can't do anything besides run and hide, so that makes it a bit more scarier. So here's the trailer. So the next game that I am going to introduce is Agony. Agony is a survival horror game developed by Madmind Studios and published by Playway. Players, gamers, you guys are going to start off as a tormented soul in the depths of hell. So it's kind of like, oh, what's that game? Oh, not really. What's that game where his wife dies, so he goes into the 7 realms of hell or something? Oh, I'm going to remember this. I am going to remember this later. Anyway, so it does start off there. And so I guess it's kind of, it reminds me of Amnesia, where you wake up with no memory whatsoever and you gotta find out why you're there. So I guess, you know, you're a tortured soul, you're in hell, you did something very bad. So you're uncovering more clues and the story behind it as well, and there's this monster thing, and I guess there's more story behind that's to do with you, and probably you're in her home. You're in their home. Yeah. Basically, you're her bitch. So here's a trailer. Disclaimer first, there are some very violent and disturbing images in this one. A lot of viewers don't like horror, or do appreciate horror, but this one's a little bit more disturbing in regards to the kind of images that it does have. It's violent and creepy, and some of the monsters are, you don't know where these guys have come up with these ideas. Watching the trailer, you are going to have a few what the fuck moments, and just like, eesh. Watch at your own risk. It's definitely not for the faint of heart, and here is a trailer for Agony.
She's always been here.
Okay, so the next one is Ghost Theory. So this is going to have some pre-alpha game footage. Ghost Theory is an indie video game which is published and developed by Dreadlocks. It's a first-person based ghost hunter type. It is a serious take on ghost hunting. You actually go to real-world haunted locations. So if you don't like and you get creeped out by real ghost stories and things like that, and things that actually, you know, real stories that have happened in everyday lives, you probably don't want this game. But it's more of a serious, and it is interesting. It's another aspect of a horror game because you are like a detective finding out what's happening and trying to find proof of it as well. So yeah, I do find it very interesting because it's a different take on the ghost kind of horror games because it is set in real life scenarios and stories that you do know from around the world. It isn't just one that's made up. Okay, and usually video game adaptation of movies aren't the best thing, but I do have hopes for Friday the 13th. It is interesting because you can have up to 8 players with the rest of you guys being the camp goers, camp counselors, same thing. And one of you is Jason Voorhees. Yes. So basically, there's only 2 goals in here. If you are the camp counselors, you have to work together to try to bring him down. And the main enemy, which is Jason, if that is you, you have to find and slaughter everyone. Pretty simple. Okay, so far it does look like it's going to be a fun multiplayer game. Might seem like it might get a bit repetitive, but you know, if you have a good bunch of people to play with, it'll be a lot of fun. So even though it is a multiplayer game and that's where the focus is, there are talks on it going to have a single player campaign. So fingers crossed we'll be able to get that.
That's my boy.
So the Viseg. The Viseg is a survival horror game, which is the spiritual successor, or one of them, of PT. It is in development by Sad Square Studios. So the game is currently running in Kickstarter and Steam Greenlight campaign. Watching the trailer for this, games nowadays are starting to look crazy real. And one of the most amazing things about this game, which is very similar to PT, is it doesn't need blood, gore. Yes, there are going to be some jump scares every now and then, but it doesn't need that to truly terrify you in a game. It is the ambience and the sounds, or the lack of some certain sounds. Walking in just a simple hallway is going to creep you out. So I can definitely feel the PT vibe here. Since it is one of the spiritual successors of PT, which I am still hurt that it has got cancelled, and I was one of the idiots who deleted it from their PlayStation to make room before I knew it was going to get cancelled. So I have regrets. So the other spiritual successor is Allison Road. So Allison Road still has another due date of, to be announced 2017, just like the Viseg. Here's another one that is going to be another spiritual successor of PT. Graphics are gorgeous as usual. It is first-person perspective. What we know so far is that you are the protagonist. There's something very bad has happened to your family, so you are uncovering clues as to what has happened and trying to defeat this evil. And that is the end of the video. So those are just some of the upcoming games in 2017. Well, fingers crossed. That's if nothing gets cancelled or pushed back, but you know, here's hoping. So yeah, if you liked the video, please hit like. Comment below if I missed out on one that's truly terrifying or interesting that you know of, or which is your favorite one that I mentioned from the list. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay sub to the Gamebug so you don't miss out on future videos. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Or anything else from that matter. Scary games. Boo! Ah. Boo!